Alright, what's up guys? So, this is a little off of the MittenMods menu, but my good friend Matt did ask me to do some work on his truck. It's nothing special, he just needs new springs put in his front suspension. So, we're going to be working on his 2006 F150 5.4 liter Triton with a 6-foot bed and sitting on some double deuces. Now, he told me specifically for this video that he does like to call her the Red Rocket. So, this is what she is. So this is the good old bad bitch. She's a little tight in the garage, but I mean, you work with what you got. So this is her, sitting on some double deuces, cutting it very close. Oh shit. But we're gonna take the old spring out and put these guys in. So I guess let's get started. We gotta start by taking this fucking thing off. A little more work than I'd like, but what you gonna do? What you gonna do? So stay tuned, and we'll just get right into it. Now, this is something I just noticed, and I wonder if he knows this too, but he's missing a lug nut right there. And if he doesn't know, I could either be a good friend and tell him, or you can just wait and watch this video. But either way, not really a big issue. I mean, he's already got 5 of them on there, so, and the wheel hasn't fallen off yet, but I'd want all 6, you know, so now let's get back to it. Alright guys, so took the wheel off, and he said that it was riding kind of weird, and he said when he went to get a tune-up or whatever the fuck it is he did, where they were near his front suspension, they said that his spring or whatever was like angled or bent, and obviously they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about, because this is what I found. That his spring is actually fucking snapped. So if it looked crooked, that's why. I just sent him a picture of it and told him that he should have never been driving this, but whatever. He drove it to work all week and got it to my house. So we're gonna start by taking this whole strut out, and then putting a new spring on, and he'll be good to go. But I'm gonna start by taking these bottom bolts off right here, and then working on the top, which I don't know if I can get a good light up there. It's really dirty and really rusty, but just taking these out, these bolts, and then dropping it out, and we should be able to pull it out. And then before you take the top hat off of your strut, you're going to want to compress this spring somehow, and I don't have spring compressors, so we're going to have to jerry rig something up. But we'll get to that point when we get to that point. Right now, let's just work on getting this fucking thing out. So, stay tuned. I'm gonna do my best. I don't really work on trucks, but same little setup as any other fucking car. So, let's get right into it. I already ran into a fucking issue before I could do anything besides take the fucking wheel off. I don't have a fucking big enough socket to take off these bolts from the bottom of the strut. I need, like, I don't know, a fucking 25 or 26 millimeter socket. Take that shit off. I only have 22 as my biggest. Well, I got a fucking 35 and a 36, but that's to take wheel hubs off of my car in the RSX. So tomorrow morning, because it's too late now, I'm gonna have to go to O'Reilly's and get a couple different sockets. I'll measure it and see what size I need exactly, but just to be safe, I'll probably grab, 2 or 3, and then I can add them to my fucking arsenal of sockets that I have. So I'm not gonna be able to do anything else with this fucking spring, and I don't know, so I'm gonna have to wait. Other than that, I forgot to mention that along with taking the fucking spring out and replacing it with the new ones, his fucking exhaust not too long ago fell off. Well, part of it fell off, so this is part of it right here. So not this one. This is off of my buddy Nick's WRX, but this one right here, this fucking fell off not too long ago, and now he's just pretty much running the rest of this pipe all the way across the bottom of the truck, and then right up here is where his cat is, and his catalyte converter is getting fucking clogged. So what we're gonna do, because it's not letting enough air out and it's sputtering and it's causing a little bit of an issue, check engine lights on because it's firing off the ignition sensor. So I'm just gonna cut it off. Fuck them, fuck it. We live in Michigan, we don't really have an emissions test, so we don't really need cats. So I'm gonna cut it off. It might be a little bit louder, but at least his fucking exhaust will be able to breathe. So besides changing the spring, that's also what I'm gonna do tomorrow. So for me, I gotta fucking wait until I can go to O'Reilly's. But for you guys, since you're watching this on YouTube and it's gonna be edited and everything, it's only gonna be a second for you. So I'll see you in a second. Oh, well guys, it is tomorrow and the weather took a turn for the worst. I mean, it's Michigan, so what would you expect? It's raining and the rain has covered everything in a thin layer of ice. So this was unexpected. We lost power. My neighbor's got his generator running. Still got to go to O'Reilly's. Can't even make coffee. This is bullshit. But got to get this thing done, so I'm gonna do it. Got to make the best of it. So gonna give it a minute, and then gotta scrape the car off, and then I head up to O'Reilly's, grab that shit, be back here and get this fucking spring in. You know, a one-day job has now turned into a 2-day job, and I'm not too happy with it, but what are you gonna do? So, oh, fuck. Let's go do it. Let's get it done. I got the piece that I needed, the socket. O'Reilly's was out of power too. They only took cash, which, you know, thank God I had some. But so stopped and got some coffee at the good old Mickey D's, and now back in the garage. So I'm gonna get started on taking this shit apart. So I know there's a lot of videos out there on how to change these struts and these springs on these F150s, because that's a common issue with them snapping right there. But you know, obviously you can fast forward to get to the points that you need to see in this video, but I'm just making this so I can get more content up on the page. First thing you want to do is you're going to want to take this bolt off from this tie rod, so you can move the rotor out of the way so you have more space to get this strut out. But after you do that, you're going to want to remove that bolt and then these top ones up here. So there's 3 of them. There's 1, 2, and then the one behind the top hat back there is number 3. But that's a 21 millimeter right there, and those are 15s up there. That right there is a 27 millimeter, and the back side of it is a 30 millimeter. So I'm gonna start taking this shit apart, and then I'll see you when I can get the whole thing out. Shit. Sorry about that, guys. Had to pop this bolt out through the other side. Hit my tripod, knocked my phone down, but got it out. So this tie rod's off, the bottom bolt's out. Now it's just on to taking these top ones off. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. Guys, so I'm having a little bit of a trouble getting the 3rd bolt off of the top part of the strut. It's in the back, I can't see it. The socket keeps slipping off, so I'm afraid I'm going to strip it. So I'm going to see if I can access it through the hood. So I'm going to open the hood up, take a look down, see if I can get a better view. So let's see how that works. Well, here's something I didn't notice. Buddy's got a K&N short ram intake on this bad boy. Let's take a look at that. Not bad, buddy. But he's got this ridiculous looking sock over his filter, and I don't know why. I'll probably just remove that for him unless he wants it. I wouldn't. This sock doesn't look breathable at all. His air filter's all crushed. Oh, we'll leave it on there for now. If he wants to keep it, he can keep it. But I feel like that's something that just kind of came with your air filter, so it won't get dirty. But maybe you're supposed to remove it after you put it in. This fucking thing. Anyways, back to the task at hand. So I am able to see the bolt that I need to get to. It's right there, and I think this will be an easier access point. I don't know if I'll be able to get any torque on it to take it off, but I am sure as hell gonna try because I can't see or get any leverage from underneath. But I don't know. I just don't want to strip it, because if I strip it, then we're fucked, and this thing's never getting done. So, to be continued. I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we got the strut out. What I ended up having to do was this bottom part of the strut sits right in here, and if you have a crowbar of some sort, it's nice to shove the crowbar right underneath there and then pry up on it, which releases this thing from both of this side. So just kind of pry it up and wedge it out, and once you take the 3 top bolts off, it kind of just falls out, and that's exactly what happened. After I pried it out, it just kind of fell right out, so it's easy enough. Probably going to try to clean this up a little bit before I put it back in, but now we have to compress these springs the best we can, take this top hat off, and you know, hopefully this spring doesn't shoot out and hit me or hit the car or hit my dog. So I'm gonna look for something to compress these down, and then once I do that, I'll be right back. Okay, so when you're taking a top hat off of the strut with a spring on it, you're going to want to secure the springs somehow, compress them a little bit, so when you take this off, the top hat doesn't shoot off at you, and this doesn't shoot out that way. Now you can be a badass and just do it, or you can kind of work a little smart and compress them a little bit, but we're going to see how this works. So guys, everything that could go wrong with this has. First, it was me not having the right size sockets, not having the proper equipment to get this thing done. Second, it was trying to get that 3rd bolt off of the top part of the strut, which I ended up getting. I got the strut out, as you saw, but now I'm trying to take this fucking top hat off, and nothing's working. So I've gotten to this point. So I've been able to loosen this little guy right here. I've been able to loosen it, but I can't get it past the last little part. And my problem is that this part keeps spinning when I try to take this bolt off. I've tried everything. I've used vice clamps to try to hold this part down while I try to take this part off, but it just keeps stripping, and you know, when this starts spinning, you're pretty much fucked. I mean, there's no way to loosen this up to take this top part off of the strut so you can get your spring out. And when it starts stripping like that, because you try to clamp it with something else, you're not going to be able to tighten it back up. Every time I try to tighten it even, this keeps spinning. So even if I do get this off, getting it back on and tight and secured properly is going to be damn near impossible. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take those 2 springs back up to O'Reilly's. I'm going to exchange them and get one whole strut assembly, because the driver's side really needs it. The spring is broken, as you saw. So back to O'Reilly's, get a whole new strut assembly, which is what we should have done in the first place, but you know, it's not my money. My buddy just wanted to get the coils. Luckily though, the strut assembly isn't too expensive, and we'll get a discount. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go get a whole new assembly for it with the spring already on it. So all I gotta do is pop it in, put the bolts back in, drop her down, and she'll be good. And if the power turns back on soon, then I can fucking cut his cats off, and maybe his car will run a little bit better. So we're gonna do that, and then we can finally get this thing done. We can call it a day on this. So I'll see you in a second. So just got back. They had a strut assembly in stock, so picked it up, got some money back, all good. So here it is, out with the old, in with the new. It's gonna be a lot easier. Just plop it in, bolt it on, all good. So we're gonna do that right now. Well, I got the strut in. Should have just done that from the get-go, bought a whole new strut assembly and took the old one out, plopped the new one in. Been done in, you know, maybe an hour. Instead it took almost a whole day, if you know, you're counting the hours. I started last night, finished just now. So it's about 12-hour time period. I didn't want to spend that much time on it. I tried to do things pretty quick. I tried to told him I'd get it done. I did get it done, but should have had his truck back this morning. So we're gonna take a look at it, and then I'm gonna put the wheel back on. And since I don't have any power, I'm gonna have to use a converter. I'm gonna have to turn this truck on, plug this little doohickey in, and get my grinder and cut off his cats. So put the wheel back on, and then we're gonna do that. So I'll see you in a second. Sorry for the low light, but here she is. She's in. She looks good. Yeah, everything went pretty smooth. So get this wheel on, and then get underneath the truck. Hey, what's up, guys? So as you can see, I'm in a change of clothes. That is because it is a few days after I've dropped my buddy Matt's truck off. We didn't end up cutting the cats off, so we'll probably do that soon, but got the strut on there, everything's fine, works great. Other than that, thanks for watching. So if you like the video, you know, give it a thumbs up, comment, and if you already haven't, subscribe, please. So catch you guys later. Thanks.